In this video, we will discuss the Features Toolbar in the Shaper module of Salome software, and here is a list of tools available in this toolbar. So, from the Features Toolbar, I will select the first tool, Scale, and clicking on it will open a property panel where I can edit. So, we have two algorithms. And the first one is scale by common factor, and it scales the entire object without modifying its shape. And for the main object, I will select cylinder from the object browser, and here the center point is the point related to which the object is scaled. So here I will select the center point here, and you can see with the scale factor of 2 the cylinder is stretched. Now click the apply button to save the changes. And the second algorithm is scale by different factors along axis. So here I select this as the main object, and this will be the center point, and the scale factor we can scale factor in x, y and z direction. So here I'll change the scale factor to 3 in x direction, and scale factor to 1 in y direction, and 3 in z direction, and this will stretch this object. And click the apply button to save the changes. And the next tool is extrusion, and the extrusion feature extends the selected objects along the chosen normals or selected axes. So after selecting the extrusion property panel is open. So here before that we need to select the plane for sketching. So I will select this plane and select the set plane view. Now to draw a sketch, we need to select the sketch, and from this menu bar I will select line and draw a shape to perform extrusion. Now I click this apply button. So, and here this is the sketch. So from the sketch I want to extrude. So for that I will select base object as the sketch, and to extrude I will enter a distance of 25, and in the opposite direction I want to extrude it in 7, and you can see here yellow line is the sketch which I selected, and this extrudes in this direction 25, in this direction 7. Now click the apply button to save the changes. So in this case I will select this front face before I have selected the wire, or you can say an edge or sketch. So in this case I will select the face, and by default this face is extruded with the distance 10, and I will change the distance to 25, and this is how the face is extruded. Now click the apply button to save the changes. So here I have selected the algorithm 2. So in this algorithm we can extrude an edge. So for the base object I will select this edge, and for the vector I will select the OX. So you can select the vector from the object browser, or you can just simply click on the normals of the object. So this yellow line is the vector and it extruded at a distance of 10. So here I will change it to 25, and in the opposite direction I want to extrude to up to 30, and this is how the edge is extruded. And click the apply button to save the changes, and you can see a new face is created here. So in this case I'll select this edge and by holding shift keys I will select these edges from this sketch, and I'll change the base normal to Y, and you can see that the whole shape is extruded. So in this case I have selected algorithm 1, and in this algorithm we can extrude a point. So here I will select these two vertices from this object. By holding a shift key I will select this object. So here I have selected OY vector to extrude. So it automatically by default extruded with the distance of 10. So here I want to extrude in the opposite direction. So here I will enter 122, and you can see the point is extruded. Now click the apply button and you can see two new edges are created. So the next one is extrusion cut. So this feature extrudes the selected objects along the selected axis and then cuts the result from the original object. So here we need to select a sketch. So here I will select this sketch and cut from will be this object, and you can see that the sketch is extruded to cut from this object. We can also set a distance. So here I will enter 5. Now click this apply button and you can see at a distance of 5 the sketch is extruded and then it is cut from this object. So in this case I will select the sketch and choose algorithm 3. So here select a sketch face will be the object for extrusion and cut from will be the object here. Now click the apply button. So here you don't have any option to set a distance in this algorithm. It will automatically extrude. Now click the apply button and save the changes. So the next one is extrusion fuse, and this extrudes the selected objects along the chosen axis and fuses the result with other objects. So in the first algorithm we can create an extrusion fuse to the vertices. So here I will select this vertex from this object for the extrusion fuse, and for the normal you can select either from object browser or you can select an axis as the base normal. So in this case I will select base normal and I'll set a distance of 10 and fuse width will be this object, and you can see at a distance of 10 this vertex is extruded in this direction, and it is fused with the object. Now click the apply button to save the changes, and here I will change the to distance to 13 and click the apply button now, and this results with the fused object. So in the second algorithm we can create extrusion fuse to the selected edge. So here I will select this edge to create extrusion fuse with this object. So for the base normal I will select this object's edge. So fuse width will be this object. So I click. So here I have changed the direction. So here I change the from distance to 0 and to distance to 10. I have to change the direction of fuse and click the apply button, and you can see that the edge is extruded with the given distance and fused with this object. So the next tool is revolution. It is used to revolve objects around the selected axis. So there are three algorithms in the revolution property panel, and in the first algorithm we can only select a vertex to revolve. Here I have selected the first type, which is by specifying angles. So here I have selected this vertex as the base object, and for the vector I will select OX from the object browser, and this yellow line is the x-axis. So here this vertex is rotated at an angle of 360. So here I will change it to 127. Now click the apply button, and you can see that this vertex is rotated at an angle of 127. So in this case I will select this vertex and select second type by bounding planes, and it is used to revolve objects by specifying bounding planes and angles. So here for the base object I selected this vertex, and for the vector I will select OX, and here I will enter 127. So in the second algorithm we can rotate edges. So here I will select this edge from this object, and I will choose OY vector. Now this is the result of the revolution. Next I will set the angle to 90 and from angle to 120, and click this apply button, and here you can see this is the revolution. So in the third algorithm we can rotate the selected face. So here I will select this face from the view, and for the vector I will choose this face edge, and this results in a 360-degree revolution. Now I will set the angle to 120, and this is the revolution of the face, and finally click the apply button to save the changes. So the next one is revolution cut. This feature revolves the selected object around the chosen axis and cuts the result from the other objects. So after selecting the revolution cut feature from the toolbar, we need to select a face for sketching because there is no sketch to revolve. So here I haven't drawn anything. So I will select sketch and draw two circles on this plane, then click the OK button, and you can sketch it before this operation, or you can also select it here and sketch. Now revolution cut property panel is open. So here by default it selected the sketch, and for the vector I will select this object's normal. Cut from will be this object, and you can see that these two circles will be extruded. So here I will change it to 120 and click the apply button, and you can see the transparent view for this revolution cut. So the next one is by bounding planes. So in this the object is revolved by specifying bounding planes, and angles here I'll select a sketch face for the object to revolve, and vector will be this object's normal, and cut from will be this object, and I'll select the bounding plane from, and this is the bounding plane I will select, and you can see that the sketch is revolved till here. Now click the apply button, and you can see that the sketch is revolved and cut from this object. And the next method is through all. Here for the vector I chose this base normal, and cut from would be this object, and you can see that the sketch is revolved through all the space of the object. Now click the apply button to save the changes. So the next one is revolution fuse. This feature revolves the selected objects around the selected axis and fuses the result with other objects. So here I have selected type 1, and in this we can select a vertex to revolve and fuse with the other object. So here in this case I have selected this vertex, and for the vector I'll select this base. Fuse with will be this object. So here I have selected by bounding planes. So for that to revolve the sketch we need to select a plane. So here I will select this face from this object, and this vertex is revolved with an angle of 90 and then fused with this selected object. So here I have selected type 2. We can select edges to revolve. So here I will select this circular edge, and here I wanted to revolve this edge around this object. So for that I will select this edge as the vector, and fuse with will be this object, and now click the apply button, here, and here the sketch is revolved and fused with this object. So in this case I will select type 3. We need to select a face to revolve, so here I will select this face, and for the vector I will select object from the object browser. So here fuse with will be this box. So here I'll change the angle to 120 and I'll change the from angle to 60. So the next tool is pipe, and this feature creates an extruded pipe shape. So there are three algorithms available, and the first one is by path and base object. In this case I will select base object as the circular edge, and for the path object I will select this edge, and you can see that the base object is extruded along the path object. Click the apply button to save the changes. And the second algorithm is pipe by path and by normal. So in this case, to create the pipe we need to select by normal, allow which to extrude the pipe. So the binormal can be an edge, or you can select it from the object browser as well. So here I have selected this base edge for the base object, and path object will be this edge, and binormal will be this edge, and this is how the object is extruded. And for the binormal you can select it vector from object browser. Now click the apply button to save the changes. So the next tool is loft. This tool is used to create a face, shell or solid from two objects. So in the loft property panel, for the first object I will select this face, and for the second object I will select this circular face, and you can see it creates a loft between the two selected faces. Now click the apply button to save the changes. And the next tool is cut, which is used to remove or cut the tool objects from the main object. So you can select the objects either from object browser, or you can select it from the view. So for the main object I will select this box, and tool object will be this object, and this H letter is the tool object. Now click the apply button, and you can see this object is cut from this main object. So the next one is the fuse operation. To create a fuse I will select two objects and click the apply button, and you can see a fuse is created with a single shape. So in the second algorithm you can choose main object and tool object, and for the main object I will select this cone, and for the tool object I will select these two boxes and click the apply button, and you can see that the object is fused. So I will again edit it and select remove intersection edges, and you can see that the edges are removed from this fused object. So the next tool is common tool, which is used to obtain a common shape from the selected shapes. So here I will select these two shapes and click the apply button, and the common shape for the sphere and box is created in the view, and this small portion is the common area. So the next tool is smash tool. This tool is used to smash a set of main objects with the tool object. So for the main object I will select a cone, and for the tool object I will select a tube, and after clicking the apply button a new shape is created, which is the result of smashing the tool objects into the main objects. So the next one is intersection feature. It creates an intersection of a selected object. Here I will select the cone and the tube from the view, then click the apply button, and a new shape is created as the intersection of the selected objects. And the next feature is partition, and it is used to create a partition of a set of selected objects. And for the base objects I will select the cone and tube from the view and click the apply button, and partition is created for these objects. So the next one is split operation. It is used to create splitting of main object by parts by tool object. So here for the main object I will select this cone, and for the tool object I will select this tube and click the apply button, and you can see a new shape is created up to the height of cone, and the shape below the cone is removed. So the next one is remove subshapes. This feature is used to remove selected subshape from the geometry. So we have two algorithms, and the first one is by removing. So it allows us to select subshapes from the object. So here I will select the cylinder, and here for the subshape to remove I will select this face of this cylinder and click the apply button, and you can see that the shape is removed. So the next one is keeping. So it displays all the subshapes in the property panel. So here I will select the geometry, and it displayed all the subshapes. So here you can delete the subshape. So here I will delete front and back face and click this apply button, and you can see a new subshape is created. So the next one is recover, and this feature restores geometrical objects used in the previous operation. So to recover I will select this object, and we have two algorithms, and the first one is to restore only the object used in the operation, and the second one is used to restore the full compound of operation used one or more of its subshapes. So here I will select this object, and you can see I click this option, and here the object is restored to its original shape. Now I'll click the apply button to save the changes. So the next feature is copy. It creates duplicates of the selected objects. So you can create a copy for face, edge and vertex. So in this case, I will select these two faces from this object. You can also select number of copies. So here I will change it to 3 and click the apply button, and this creates a total of 6 copies for the two faces, and I will unselect all from the object browser, and you can see the one face created. So the next one is import result, and it is used to import one or several results from another part. So to import results, we need to create a new part. So here I will create a new part to import. Now I will select the geometry from the object browser. So in the property panel, it displays the selected objects. Now I click the apply button, and this imports operation with the result of a copy for the selected object into from one part to another part. So the next feature is sketch copy, and it is used to create a duplicate of an existing sketch. And to create a sketch copy, I will start by selecting a sketch. So here I will select this sketch and click the apply button, and this generates a new copy of the sketch, and which will be placed into the current location of the history. So the next one is fillet. Fillet feature is used to create fillets on the vertices of a wire. So for filleting, we have two algorithms, and the first one is fillet a wire. So I will select this wire from the view and enter a fillet radius of 4, and filleting is applied to all the 4 coordinates of the wire with the radius of 4, and to save the changes, click the apply button. So in the second algorithm, fillet is specified vertices on a wire. So to apply this, I will select this vertex and this vertex, and I'll set the fillet radius to 5 and enter apply button, and the filleting is then applied to this wire with the radius of 5. So in this case, I have selected this object to apply fillet. So I will choose this edge from this object, and filleting is then performed with the radius of 2, and I want to change it to 7, and you can see filleting is performed with the radius of 7. Now click the apply button to save the changes. So in the second algorithm, fillet is performed for the selected edges, and you can define start and end radius for it. So here I will select this edge, and for the start radius I will choose 3, and for the end radius I choose 7, and you can see this is the start radius and this will be the end radius. Now click the apply button to save the changes. The next tool is chamfer. Chamfer creates chamfers on edges or faces. So in this case I will select this face, and here D1 represents the first chamfer distance, and here I will enter 4, and due to represents the second chamfer distance, and I will change the distance to 7. Now I'll click the apply and save button, and the chamfer is applied to the selected face, and you can see this is the front face. So in the second algorithm, we can get chamfer by defining distance and angle. So for that I have selected this edge, and I'll change the chamfer distance to 3, 4 and 5, and I'll set the angle to 60 and click this apply button, and you can see the chamfer is created. So the next feature is fuse faces. So this feature eliminates the edges between adjacent same domain faces lying on the same geometrical surface. So here I will select the shape from the view. Now I'll click the apply and save button, and you can see that the edges from this shape will be eliminated. So the next tool is defeaturing tool, and it is used to remove unwanted parts from the object. So here I will select this face for removal and click the apply button, and you can see that selected face is removed. So the next tool is field. So field assigns values to geometrical entities which can be later transferred to mesh entities. So in the field property panel, I will select the type of shapes to edges, and I will set that type of field to double. Here number of components represents the number of named values assigned to the geometrical entities, and I'll set it to 2. So here stamp refers to the timestamp for the current time step, and the current step slider navigates through the add steps, and the add step button adds a new time step, and the remove step button removes the time step. So here I will enter 0.76 and 1.1, and you can also change the name of the column here. So here I have to select edges. So from this object I will select these two edges and click the apply button, and here the field is created in the object browser. The next one is the group, which represents a set of geometrical entities created by selecting geometrical entities of the same type. So in the property panel, you can see there are 4 types to create a group. So for vertices, I will select these 2 vertices and click the apply and continue button, and you can see a group 1 is created. So I want to create group 2. So here I will select all the vertices from this object and click this apply button, and group 2 is created. So now I will create groups for edges, and to create group 3 I will select these 2 edges from this object and click the apply button, and you can see group 3 is created. So the next one is group addition. So it is used to create a new group from the selected groups. So here I will select group 3 and group 4, and click this apply button, and now a new group is created for group 3 and group 4 with the name group edition 1. And the next one is group intersection. It creates a group of elements present in all the selected groups. So to create a group intersection, I will select group 1 and group 2 and click this apply button, and these two vertices are present in the groups. So the next tool is group subtraction. So in the property panel, you can see that we need to select the main group and tool groups. For the main group, I will choose group 1, group edition 1, and for the tool group, I will select group 3, and you can select these groups from the object browser or from the view. Then I'll click the apply button, and you can see a new group is created, and it contains all the elements from the main group with the elements from the tool group subtracted. And the next one is group shape function. It creates a new shape by combining all the elements from the selected groups. So in this case we have group 1 and group 2. In the group property panel, I will select these two groups. After selecting the groups from the property panel, click the apply button, and you can see a new group shape that includes all the elements from group 1 and group 2 is created. And here you can export your file into geometrical object. And this is the end of this video, and thanks for watching.